Hey everybody, this is a special. Usually I only post on Sundays. That's what I decided. But I feel inspired, so I just follow through rather with my intuition. This is the energies of October. I think I'm not too fond of predictive readings, but I feel that from time to time it's nice to know some sort of the feels of the month or of the given situation you're in. This is a timeless reading, but obviously I'm making it in October, so it will be for October. But if you click on it, I think that'll be a message for you if you're attracted or drawn to one of the piles. You will find the timestamps down below. I like to do it live and direct, so I will just prepare everything in front of you. If you want to squeeze that out, you can, obviously. You have the pink diamond, purple diamond, or the blue diamond, ocean blue diamond. 1, 2, 3. And I'll read the card and everything. I don't want you to be too mentalizing, using too much your mind. This is more intuitive. Just follow your gut feeling when it comes to picking a pile. I might do a video about that. Yeah, I think I'm going to do that later on. Okay, so I'm going to start in the right order. I'm going to start with the number 1 and do the piles as we go. Actually, no, I'm really going to do everything like this. So the intro will actually not be that long. So for the people that chose the group 1 with the pink heart that I'm going to put there, I hope you'll see them. You'll see it. Black obsidian. The hidden side. Straight away, I'm picking that your month of October will be some secrets will be revealed. It might not be life-changing things, but there's something. It's like you're only seeing the top of the iceberg, and this month you'll have the opportunity to really dive deeper into the underground, into your inner world, your inner self. It's the period at which I'm recording is October, and it's for October. So there's really an idea of being able to also get in the underworld. But the underworld is, I feel there's a bit of a misunderstanding and misconception about it. Underworld is not all demons and horrible entities. I mean, there are horrible entities also in the upper realms. Like, there's shit on the entire scale, if you really want to know. So in the underworld, it's just darker and it's just a bit gloomier. That's why people might be scared to really research or try to get deeper. But it's not because it's up there and you go in the higher realms and the higher dimension that everything is love and light. I feel that this is a big lie that we've been fed, especially for the people that study spirituality. There's good and bad, up and down, sideways. It's the way we're in. It's the way the world is built for us and sort of carved for us. And the point is to keep our equilibrium. So I feel that there might be an inner conflict with you here, an inner struggle. There's some sort of, what I feel is the movie. If you haven't seen it, I really highly recommend it. It's Beauty and the Beast. Everybody knows that Disney has made various actually reboots of this, but the original was written by a woman. I think in the beginning of the 19th century. She was French. It's called La Belle et la Bête in French. And then it was taken and rearranged by Jean Cocteau. If you can find the first original movie that was made, I think in 1954, I'm not sure though. It's in black and white. It's one of the most beautiful movies. It's one of my favorites. Jean Cocteau is an amazing director. If you can find your hands, if you can find it, go and watch it. I think there's something for you in that movie. And there's it's poetic, it's magical, and it really also portrays something that you might struggle with, because fairy tales have always a very archetypal value to them, and messages and information. So for you, it's how do I handle the good, the bad, and the ugly within myself, which could also be a movie that you could watch. Sergio Leone, The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly. Amazing, one of my favorites too. You might be a lot into watching movies if I'm kind of coming up with movies. I think there's something that might be for you. So yeah, it's about understanding. Oh my God, I'm gonna go on a big tangent, but if I can help you, what I became to realize as I moved on my path and went through my own kind of challenges, is that if you're trying to starve one side of yourself that you label as not socially acceptable and as weird or as kinky or even as profoundly dark and scary and sinister, if you don't acknowledge and honor this part of yourself just as you honor the other parts and welcome it and accept it as a part of yourself, and you try to push it away or repress it, it will come out. It will be nasty. Obviously, I'm not telling you to go slaughter animals and kind of, and do things like that and go in black magic and just unleash the demon. But I'm telling you, love the demon, because it's within you. It's within all of us. It's the shadow. But the way to quote unquote handle that is not to be scared of it, not to try to beat it up. It's just to accept that it is there and that it doesn't take the upper hand on you. This thing is not ruling over you. This thing is supposed to serve you, in the sense that it's supposed to be there for you to teach you things about yourself, just as your good side is there also to honor you and to help you grow. But both of them, see them like two horses on the carriage. You're the one taking the reins. You're the one who's leading. They're not overpowering you. You have mastery over those parts. And remember, the devil is not a match to God. The devil is a match to you. God doesn't really have any sort of intake or judgment on this. Remember that if we go back in history, Satan was a fallen angel, and apparently from the Bible, if I recall, it was God's favorite that wanted more freedom and power than God was willing to give him or give it. So there's really something about acknowledging that there's some dark side in you. There's some maybe some shame around that. But remember, the point is not to crush one side or the other. The point is to remain in equilibrium. The only way to remain in equilibrium is to acknowledge and respect both sides with some sort of, it's not about being very rigid, but like when you, for those that have done horse riding, when you hold the reins, you go with the flow, you go with the horse, but you're the one holding the reins. The horse doesn't do what it wants. There's a mastery of self here that is required, and that will be really pushed on you in October. You need to master yourself. You need to learn how to deal with the things in your life that are bothering you or triggering you or making you feel shameful or guilty. You need to not be ruled by the lower sides, the more primal, archaic kind of reptilian brain size of you, and you need to learn how to get out of this maybe feels of being all powerful, because you're not, but at the same time not fall in the other trap, which would be to feel completely powerless. It's to find the balance. You're not God, but you're not a little kind of insignificant little thing in the universe. There's a reason for you to be here. You need to unravel and discover what will be the right path, the fair path, the right door you want to open, because there's plenty in front of you. That's what I feel. You need to find what door will be the most valuable and will bring you and help you evolve. And that might sound a bit kind of, woo-woo out there, but that's what I have for you. It's like, unleashing the demon is dangerous. Keeping it closed up is dangerous. It's like, imagine if the demon image is a bit disturbing. Think of two panthers. If you don't feed them, they're more dangerous. But if you feed them too much, then they're also dangerous in another way, because they think that they own you, that you are their slave and they're the master. You need to find the right equilibrium. There might also be a sense of repentance, and also cleaning up the shit you've created to some degree. Maybe there's also a notion of forgiveness here for yourself, and also taking accountability and responsibility for your part in how crap some things in your life are at the moment, or something from the past that might resurface during this period. And I might also, if you believe in that, go, if you have a religion or whatever, go in a sacred place, with a temple, a church, a synagogue, whatever you believe in. I think it's time to spend time with yourself in a sacred place, and also reflect on your ancestry, on your bloodline, where you come from, and what you want to cut yourself from, like ancestral trauma, habits that are toxic, limiting beliefs, anything that is preventing you from actually enjoying your life. You have to really be able to replace what is not serving you anymore in your mind. Can I have more information about Group 1? I was talking about the panther. We're seeing a tiger here. We're talking about protection, influence. Oh my God. You see how I was coming with all the God stuff, all the Christian stuff? I'm not even Christian. Like, I was baptized, but I'm more on my dad's side. We're Buddhists. So, but you see Adam and Eve, the snake, temptation, Mercury. There's also the moon, Aries. Libra is about finding balance. So there's really a notion here. Don't be scared of something that is within you, because if you're scared, it means you give your power away. As soon as you're scared, the power is gone. That's why you need to understand and study the sides of you that scare you to be able to master them. Control. What did I tell you? The mastery of self. This is, I believe, Jupiter. It's about expansion. What was I saying? This is Capricorn. Capricorn is also in the tarot. The card that represents Capricorn is the devil. So this is all making a lot of sense to me. So I think I was in the right direction with my intuition. It's finding, this is very esoterical, so maybe if you don't know anything about it, just watching it might trigger some knowledge you have within you, might activate some knowledge. So don't try to mentalize too much. But there's really here a notion of mastery, self-mastery. This is the thing that, if there's one thing for you to pick from this reading, self-mastery. You need to learn. You need to educate yourself, and you need to also learn what triggers you. What are the core ones? What are the traumas still impeding your life and making your life a living hell? And free yourself from that. Obsidian is one of the strongest stones for protection. Everybody says tourmaline. Tourmaline is very good for anchoring and really keeping your balance and ground yourself. But the ultimate, from my perspective and my experience using stones and crystals, obsidian is one of the strongest, with tektite, which is a meteorite that doesn't come from here. But obsidian is super strong. The strongest are actually the ungoshiol. It's the I believe the Mexican version. It's there's a rainbow in it. They're round, like you feel that there's celestial obsidian is the strongest. I think that's the way it's called, the usual name. So maybe you need protection at this time, but I feel you need protection from yourself. So you don't really need protection, you need understanding. However, if you're dealing with people that are malevolent or that don't have your best interest at heart, you need to learn how to shield yourself with a visual techniques, energy work, and wearing an obsidian might be a good thing. Just, buy one in a good store, in a good metaphysical store, put it in your pocket, wear a ring. The most strongest form would be to have a pendant that is really standing on your heart. That might be too strong for some people though, because obsidian is very, very strong. But that might be something you could look into, or find a metaphysical shop and just ask in your head, please, intuition, guide me to find the stones that will help me do the work I need to do, what seems to be the shadow work, and you will, I think your eyes will just catch up, I mean, what you need, and follow with this. So there's something about real deep work being done here. Maybe your for you, I'm not going to use that. I think okay, we're going to work with the ancestors. What do they have to tell you? For group 1, if there's something that wants to come through to help them and give a message, now is the time. Okay, grandmother. Yeah. 2 grandmothers. Or mothers, if you've lost your mom, maybe when you were young. There's also something about 2 years, something that happened 2 years ago. You miss stability, divorce, being raised by a single parent, maybe child of or children if you have sisters and brothers of a divorcee, emotional. It's like one of your parents, or maybe if it was one line up in the family tree, your mother had a very distant, cold, unavailable, very emotionally unstable, or not fulfilling the role of a mother. I don't know if there's something about being forced to getting married and having children and having the perfect normal wife life, maybe arranged marriage or something of that genre, and maybe your mother or your grandmother was a very cultivated and educated and all around independent woman, but because of the time in which she grew up, you had to just do like everybody else. And if you left, you were just left in the cold and ostracized. So it was about trying to kind of make up for all the lack of love, of understanding, of respect, the maybe also patriarchal way of viewing life, and the societal norms that made your grandma, your ma, having to really give up on things that were dear to their heart. Maybe you came from a wealthy family, or a kind of very educated, maybe not bourgeois, but there's something about self-sacrifice for something that that was forced upon us. There's also a notion of broken family. In all honesty, it might have looked pristine on the outside, or averagely, is that a word? Average, and kind of normal, but behind closed doors, like there was nothing normal in there. You didn't get the love. There was something I think that's what you're craving for, but you don't know how really to verbalize it and to come up with this. But I think what the ancestors are trying to give you is, as insights and clue you in on what to do next, is you gotta respect yourself. That's gonna sound so freaking basic, but that's what comes through. Do not compromise for your rights, for what is your values, your core values. Don't let people tell you that love is unattainable, that you will not be fulfilled, that you'll have to make compromises, that you'll have to sacrifice things along the way. Of course, when you love someone, you have to adjust to them if you're living with a partner, or you're having children, or you have to deal with your family. But never in the world should you renounce to your your dreams, to your life, to who you are. You see? Emperor. It's about you need to get back in authority. You need to be the authority in your life, not in the sense trying to be a sole dictator and be like really mean and harsh with everyone. It's just about knowing and reclaiming your personal throne, honoring your value, your core values, who you are. I think you're desperately looking for love. That should be first nourished within you. It cannot come from outside. It can only be filled from inside. So very codependent energy here, because if you pick up people that have the same flaws and the same issues as your parents or grandparents had, like most of us do, you're stuck in a loop. You're stuck in a world that you've built for yourself, but that doesn't reflect who you are. And there is this kind of split between reality and what you wish life would be. So it's about rebuilding clean, stable, safe foundation for yourself emotionally, more specifically. So it's a month where you might want to, I think love is on your list. You wish to find love, but it feels that what you don't understand, that love starts with you. There's also a notion of justice. That's why I'm thinking cleaning your karma. I do this. I could do this, obviously. If you want, you can contact me. That's one of my specialties. I help people clean up their crap, basically. So yeah, I think you need to make up for what the wrongdoings that your ancestors did or were subdued to. You need to put the scales back again in equilibrium. And they will thank you for it. And I would dare to say that they will even bring love. Yes, they will even bring love for you if you do it. In the sense that by clearing the karma, changing the energy, changing the bloodline and the DNA, you will be able to really attract other people. I think there's love for you coming in. Not in October though, maybe at the end of October. I think it's by the end of the year, or if you're listening to this later, I think by winter time something will happen. Something nice. But you need to clean up your shit and get your shit together. Okay. Bon. What can I use to close up the reading with some message for you that could be out of curiosity, I just want to kind of challenge myself. What will come out for you? For the group 1. Group 1. Sorry about that. I have to bounce. I was talking about the Beauty and the Beast. The one that comes out is Sleeping Beauty. There's something in you that has to be awakened. Okay, I'm just going to take that and then I need to go. Okay. You see, alarm clock waking up. That's actually funny. Today, tough and trying times. Tough times ahead, think long term and make decisions accordingly. Avoid negative people at all cost. And be wary of your own negativity. Intuition. Trust your intuition. It's a great time to learn a new skill, change careers, or invest money. Money. Money penny. No, that's in James Bond. No, I mean money. Okay, I hope that was out of service. Thank you so much for spending this time with me and your attention. If you wish to subscribe, of course, please do so. Share, like, comment. This one, the pile 1 was a bit woo-woo. I hope you got the message. Thank you so much, and I'll see you around for another video. Take care. The magic of recording. I'm back for group 2. So for those, that shows the purple diamond, which is quite beautiful, isn't it? And the matching card, actually even the colors match with the quartz, the spirit quartz, and the keyword is music. And those are actually the quartz that are sort of druzy. Do you say that? I hope you can see. I'm trying to zoom in for you to actually see what I mean. Yeah. Thank you, technology. It's a beautiful type of quartz. Those are used for specific, they have specific properties. The point here is not to go in depth, but if you want to check it out, the druzy quartz is quite something. So what I'm picking straight away for you is there's a very psychic connection. You might be psychic in the sense that you have abilities, and your crown chakra is activated or is getting activated in October. When this happens, I should say that given the period of time at which I'm recording, and if you're watching this in October, there's a notion here of grounding your energy and knowing, kind of being able to filter what's coming through, what you're channeling. So if you're already in tarot, or you like have your own cards, like you don't automatically have to be on YouTube and have a YouTube channel doing tarot and channeling. But if you're interested in those things and all the kind of holistic approach, even things that are less sort of esoteric in nature, by nature, I would really advise you this month to very cleanse yourself energetically, very thoroughly throughout this month. Because when you get activated, or when you really work on your chakras and on the 3 upper chakras, the throat, the third eye, and the coronal, I've just said it and I've lost the word, the last one, the purple one, the crown chakra, that's what I was saying. When the 3 upper chakras are being activated and aligned with the ones from below, the earthy ones, sometimes it can feel draining. You can also be some sort of magnet for entities, for energies to come up to you for help, to come to you to kind of drain your energy, suck you dry. So I don't want to freak people out, because this is my job, but entities and energies and things that are on the other side, or on a more subtle realm that we don't see with the eyes, but that we can, well, some people see them, but that you can feel, even if you're not really into all this energy work and channeling and psychic abilities. It's in you. So I feel for some of you it's going to be activated, and for those that are not really into all that stuff, even though you watch tarot on YouTube, ground your energy, protect your energy. And it's not even being protective, it's being aware. What's coming in? What do you feel? When you feel that something feels off, just walk away from it. Do energy work to cleanse yourself if you have some protocols and rituals to do so. And pay attention to the type of work also if you do magic or esoteric work. Be really conscious and aware, and take all the extra caution necessary to do what you have to do. And if it's not you, that is really that is into all this, if you have friends or a partner that is into esotericism or into witchcraft, be careful, because they can be, sometimes we have, especially if you live with them, or if you have, I don't know, a housemate, or you're in college and you have someone sharing the room with you that wants to do magic and stuff like that. Protect your part of the room, of the bed, of the house, of whatever it is, because sometimes there can be rebounds, and there can be side effects and collateral damages because of people not correctly doing the job, the energy work. So be mindful of that. What is the message here? I didn't pick up on the keyword because, well, it's obvious, but you could listen to binaural beats, frequencies to cleanse the house. You have plenty of that on YouTube. Frequencies to clean your energy, to align your chakras. You can Google that or YouTube that. You'll find plenty of resources for that purpose that are quite efficient. Okay, for group 2, what message can I deliver? Oh, okay. Charity with Saturn and the sign of the Cancer here. Oh, that's a nice energy. Exaltation with Taurus and the moon. And last one. Wow. Indecision. Okay, what I'm picking here also is that if I had to go a bit more in depth or give another kind of version of what could be happening, if you feel that things are off, please do some cleansing, energy cleansing, or really pay attention to the people you're with. Because what I'm feeling here is that there could be someone that is doing some sort of, it's not even magic or witchcraft, but just by the power of the mind. If someone is resentful towards you or feels sorrow and sadness, if for instance, if you broke up with someone and this person is not over you, they might be feeding and hooking you with their energy. And that's when that's what we call the energy cords. You have to cut cords, energy cords. If you don't know how to do that, go and see a qualified practitioner, like energy practitioner. It's hard to pronounce. I can do it also because that's part of my job. But if you can find someone in your area that you trust, or you have someone that is suggesting you, someone recommending, please do so. Here, I'm feeling the vibe of someone being pulled, trying to pull someone back. So, or it's a person, or it's you doing it unconsciously, or maybe consciously if you really are struggling to get over a breakup or being drifted apart from someone. There's really this notion of grieving, maybe even somebody who's dead. Another thing that we don't really talk about, but when people go on the other side, but the remaining people alive that really miss them and don't properly grieve, if you think of them all the time, if you're like, oh no, you're dead, no, I can't take it. I mean, the first year or two of grieving, it's normal to have those thoughts. But if 10 years down the road you're still crying every day and begging for the person that you lost, your loved one, to come back, you prevent them from moving on. You're basically creating a cord, an energetical cord with them, and that has to be cut off, and you have to do the grieving. So maybe you need to get therapy, get help, get energy work, but you need to cut, especially if they're on the other side. You need to let them go. You need to let them do what they have to do next for their next incarnation, if you believe in that, or for the great, plan of the universe. They have to be let in peace. So you need to handle the grieving or the feeling abandoned or rejected or guilt if you rejected someone that you don't want to have in your life anymore. There's something of that genre. There's this weird, bizarrely enough, if you're struggling to let go of someone, there's this idea of rejoicing for what happened that was good, cherishing it, keeping it with you, and you can have those memories with you. They kind of stick with you, but what is past, and you need to differentiate and really make a clear distinction between the memories, what actually happened factually, and what you can create now, because living in the past will not help you move on in any shape or form. I'm going to clarify the charity card, because charity can mean various things in this scenario. Yeah, okay. They're really pointing us in the... You see how crazy that is? Another time Saturn with Capricorn. And you have also on this card, I don't know if you'll be able to see it, the abundance... I don't know how you say it in English, actually, the corne d'abondance, the abundance, the prosperity kind of jar, or whatever, how you call that. And this for me is that it's telling me you have all the resources this month to make it happen in your life and to get what you want out of life. And I think we're really talking here sentimental, but also financial means. There's a road opening to you, and a road for emotional satisfaction, fulfillment, and financial stability through perhaps a creative endeavor. I would say it's the type of situation where give and life will give you back. Like give with not wanting anything in return, with no second thought, and life will provide in some way. Life will help you through this change, this I feel that it's like when the clouds are just like pushed by the wind and you can finally see clearly now. I can see clearly now. The sun, the rain is gone. It's gonna be right like sunshine in heaven. Something like this, if someone knows the song. So yeah, I can see clearly now. I think it's Wife Cleave something. It's a sort of reggae song. That's what I'm picking. So it's really like kind of after the rain, the sun will shine again. So if you're in a grieving transition mode where you feel like you've lost everything, or you lost the thing or the person you cherished most, life will bring you something to fill in this sort of void and emptiness you feel inside, or you feel in your life at the moment. Wycliffe something, I don't remember the name of the song, but it's something like that. I'm going to use that. Group 2. Beginning. You see, I can't be making this up. A new start is about to occur in October for you. The beginning, the launching of a new cycle. I feel something more peaceful, more abundant, and more warmer and shinier. For me, you're on the right track. I feel you're on the right track. You just have to keep going. Message for the people that chose the purple diamond. Maybe it could be even for some of you, it's time to shine, to put on the forefront your qualities, your talents, your skills, what you know, your creativity. For some of you, it could be really some sort of rise to fame, or some sort of acknowledgement for your skills and your sets and how you use them. Yeah, there's definitely a grieving energy to. There's a grieving feels to your reading. I really see financial stability. The Devil's Pie. Makes me think of the D'Angelo song. There's really something that is gonna be that's gonna make you feel brand new, I think. After this emptiness and this walking in the desert, you know, not knowing where to go, feeling very sorrow and hurt, and with lots of sorrow and hurt, there's some renewal in your financial life, in your practical material life, and also there's some sort of softness, of tenderness happening in your life. We have lots of pink. The color pink is really sticking out. I think this is not coincidental. I think there's really some softness that will be brought to your life. Some tenderness, a person or even situations that are going to make you reconnect with the sweetness of life that seemed to have kind of disappeared for your life for a while. Beautiful energies. Things are growing back, and you're making something out of all this. With the devil. The devil is not automatically a horrible card in tarot, depending on the other cards around it. In this case, it's more, I can create this drive, this energy, this sexual energy, this desire, this lust for life will help me kind of have the courage to build something new, to create something new, to have an approach of life that is very different from what it was. It feels like there's a before and an after in this situation. There's a really a distinct kind of cut between your previous life and where you're heading towards to. So it's a very good energy. We see that it was hard for you. We can feel the heaviness, the desperation, the sadness, but life is working like that, cycles. We move from one to the other, and that's called life. What is the extra message that I could give to the people that have chosen the group 2, the purple diamond? What I'm hearing is that you've done enough. So if you're in the situation where you felt like working on yourself, you did the work, you'll never be fully healed. I think that's also a big misconception that are, I feel, misguiding people, especially in the self-help industry, what they don't really say. Well, the most famous one don't really emphasize on that, but I think that you need to understand that we're never done healing. So if you focus your entire kind of life on when I'll be healed, I'll be able to do X, Y, and Z, you'll never do X, Y, and Z because you'll never be healed enough, because there's no end to this journey of healing and creating and renewing. It's always about transforming, but there's a part of us that will always find things to worry about or be wounded, because that's life, you know. Sometimes, even if it's unintentional, people hurt us. And if you focus your kind of scale of happiness on how much you've healed, it's great to acknowledge how much work you've done and feeling good in your life and improving and feeling that you've done the work and you can reward yourself for that. But this is not the ultimate goal. Like, the goal is just to enjoy moment by moment what life has to offer and to deal with the uncomfortable moments as well and as graciously as we can. But wanting to heal fully is misguiding you, I think. You've healed already. Now it's time to really enjoy the fruits of your labor. Okay, group 2. I'm smelling also a very distinct smell. It smells like sandalwood and rose. Okay, message for group 2. No, the deck is not cleaned. Change, opportunities. A change of residence, partner, career, or job is on the cards. You're restless and you're restless and in need of a change, and that is exactly what is coming your way. I might redo this because I kind of butchered it. I kind of got stuck here. A change of residence, partner, career, or job is on the cards. You're restless and in the need of a change, and that is exactly what is coming your way. Opportunities. An important offer will be made. Be prepared and dressed to impress. Okay. Thank you, Group 2, for spending this moment with me. I hope that was helpful. If you wish to subscribe to my channel, please do so, and I'll see you around for the next one. For the people that chose the last group, the blue diamond. Let's roll. Quartz. It's a very specific type of quartz. It's talking about archive quartz. I've never heard such a thing in English language, so there must be another name for it in English. What it's talking about is archaical wisdom. We're going deep there, guys. People that chose group 2, you have a strong connection to the earth, and also the energies and the spirits of the earth. not so much like alien galactical things. You're people that come from the earth. You maybe have done other lifetimes, if you believe in that, in the earth. In French we call them le petit peuple, which is literally could be translated by the little people. And it's all fairies, elves, all those kind of wood-like creatures, the mystical creatures. So you definitely come from the earth, and you have a strong bond with the earth. Maybe you're really ecologically conscious, very strongly advocating for climate, for the things that are happening, the climate change crisis, animals, nature, wanting to be around animals, needing to have time off in nature. If you don't do so, I can already advise you to go and take everything off, turn off the phone, turn off everything, take your car, or go and have a walk somewhere in nature. So yeah, connection to the earth, very strong bond. Mandragora, it's a plant, right? Mandragora. It's the plants that are shaped like little beings, and its roots like tubercules. Me trying to put a French word with the English accent, Lord have mercy. Mandragora, I think that does exist. I'm not making it up. I don't remember the name exactly, but yeah, mandragora, I think that's a plant. It's actually a plant used in magic, in witchcraft. Okay. There's anger here. So there might be something you're really being upset with, a news that maybe popped in October, or I think the news has already been put out. There's anger and a feeling of injustice, something being really unfair. A divergence in opinions here. Maybe it has to do with what's going on globally with the world, pretty much this mad world we're living in, with people in politics that act like 5-year-olds. Anyway, spoiled 5-year-olds. So we have acquisitions. It might be a matter of the heart here. There's some jealousy or some something being unclear in your love life. Optimism. Oh, you want to talk. Talk to us. Actually, you know what? I'm just thinking like I'm with you live and direct. But it's so frustrating not to know the words that I'm actually going to write them down so that I can know the translation, so that I can gain a bit more knowledge here. So every time I don't get a word in English that doesn't pop up, I will write it down, jot it down. Anyway, side note. So, getting back to this is an interesting one. Something is definitely not working. We can see here if the cards were reversed, it means blockages. You know what it makes me think of? I don't know why I have the feels of the book by Jane Austen, Pride and Prejudice. There's also the movies that are really good. I've seen all of them, and all of them were good. I actually recently saw the Pride and Prejudice with Keira Knightley, which was amazing. If you haven't seen it, go watch it. It's great. We have inspiration, enthusiasm, and pragmatism reversed. So there's something, I get it. The 5-year-old magic thinking. If I put my bed sheets on top of me, I won't see the monster under the bed. You're in denial probably, or not wanting to see clearly something that is just, that needs an issue that needs to be addressed that you do not wish to address. Perhaps, example number one, you're with someone but you know it's not working out, but the hassle of having to go through a separation, breakup, divorce, and so on and so forth, it seems so unsurmountable, so hard to overcome. You see, insurmontable? For those taking French, who took French in high school. Hello! And so there's something that feels so unbearable that you don't even want to go and put your toes in it. The problem, dear, is that you're going to be put in a situation if you wait too long and you don't sort this out in October. Life is going to push you, and now it might be just a little shaking in the back, a little tap in the back, but it could be a bit harder and tougher if you don't do what needs to be done and what is required of you soon, like now. It has to do with the family. It's very clear here. It has to do with the family, inheritance, working if you have a family business, disagreeing with your partners at work, disagreeing with how things are being set in your company. There's really something, or we can see that there are everybody's wanting to preserve their own interest and privileges, which is kind of logical, but there needs to be a common ground that needs to be found, because this is leading nowhere. We're not heading anywhere with that. The creativity and the potential cannot be unleashed and cannot be revealed as long as there's no coherence and no mutual understanding of the other party, the other person, or the other group of person, or yourself with someone. It's like this plain example, but you have, a family business and two sisters or two brothers that are supposed to take the family business. One wants to really modernize everything and get really big and kind of use the help from the multi, like the big companies, and wants to really push the company to get super well known, super all over the world, and kind of use globalization to really move on and take the business to the next level. And the other brother or sister just wants to keep it traditional and keep it with core values, with the kind of motto of the brand that has been the motto for 200 years. It's like, you see, like modernization and wanting to keep it the old way. This is just an example, but that's the type of issue we could be facing here. Maybe it could be in a couple. You have a child and one is Catholic, the other is, I don't know, Hindu or Jewish, and it's like, I want my child to have the Catholic background, and the other spouse, well, I also want my child to have the core values of my Jewish or Hindu family. And it's like, how do we reconcile and combine different things that are not mutually exclusive, that can be combined, but that will require some adjustments? It's something of that jar for you. I'm going to take, well, no, that doesn't sound like the right deck to use for you. What can be done then? Yeah, I can already tell you with those cards, work hand in hand together. It's about working together. There's an African saying, I think, it's like, if you want to go far, what is it? If you want to go fast, go alone. If you want to go far, let's go together as a group, If you want to go fast, travel alone. If you want to go far, travel with people. I'm kind of sort of butchering it, but you can Google it. It's a very kind of famous saying. It's conciliation. It's finding a common a common ground with something or someone. It's getting clarity also on what is the real core of the issue. Because you might think that the problem is that, and then you dig a little bit deeper and you realize that the core of the issue has nothing to do with the kind of surface level problem. Maybe non-violent communication, that was a process that was created, or I should rather say developed by Marshall Rosenberg. This could be helpful. How to learn to communicate clearly and properly what your needs are. This will help you in every type of situation, whether it's work, personal life. Knowing how to verbalize things and how to formulate it in a digestible way so that people can hear it is truly an art. I would even dare to say it's a sport. You have to practice. Okay. But there's nothing really deep and really grave, grave. Alarming, should I say. There's nothing alarming, don't worry, it's not big things, but it's the small things that when you pile them up, it turns into a freaking big pile of shit that needs to be cleaned out. Like things, untold things, resentment, things where we think that we don't want to say anything, but by not saying anything we kind of repress something in us that then makes us be passive aggressive with the person and really resent them because we couldn't say what we wanted. So there's really a need for a clearer and more fluid communication. Exactly, the sun. You see, I see that this is a temporary phase, like everything in life, but especially for your situation. October, if it's uncomfortable and you have to talk about the real things and really get it all in there, do. Say what needs to be said. And really go to the heart of the matter and free yourself. It can be something so simple like you have to go to your parents' house or to your partner, your spouse's parents' house every Sunday, and you don't want to go, and you say yes every week, but realizing that you don't want to be there. It's about being able to tell your spouse, darling, like honey, or whatever you call your partner, I love you, but I don't want to go every Sunday to eat at your mom's house. It's about saying those simple things, but that can change everything in the relationship, Yeah. It's about building something solid, something concrete, and not fearing judgment, because if you state clearly what your issue is, whether the person kind of accepts it or not, you said what you had to say. Then it's your decision to see what you're going to do about it. And if you have to kind of deal with someone, like in the example I just gave you, it's like, yeah, honey, I don't want to go to see your parents, but your husband or wife might wonder, like, what's wrong with my parents? And then you can say, maybe it has nothing to do with them. It's just my Sunday is the only kind of free day I have in the week. I'd rather go biking or painting or work on writing my novel rather than spend time that is precious to me and that I would rather spend doing something that is really dear to my heart instead of just blindly doing things to please you that are not making me happy. It's being able to say, what do I want? Always I statement, talking about us, how something makes us feel, and not blaming straight away the other person, but being, I feel this way, not you make me feel this way. It's I feel this way. I have this need. This need is not fulfilled within myself. You see, the I statements, that will help you, I think. It's just about arranging and making things even for everyone in the situation. Okay. What else? Is it still recording? It is. Perfecto. So final message for group 3. I really think it's a temporary issue, but the sooner you address it, the better. came out for all the pies. It's cray. I'm hearing warning signs, so see, especially for instance, if you're in a relationship or a situation that just started with someone that you feel is not telling you the whole truth, or that you feel something's off, follow your intuition, the red flags, see them, and if you see them, get out of the situation as fast and furious. If you feel something is not right, trust your gut instincts. You don't have to explain, you don't have to say why, you just have to say, I don't want that, boom, that's done. Care required. Guard yourself against deception and be careful of making foolish mistakes at this time. I think the foolish mistakes have been made, but it's now what can we do to kind of redirect the situation in a more, I guess, conscious way. Personal riches. Small successes are likely now and bigger ones are on the way. Finances could improve dramatically, but avoid get-rich schemes. So don't mentalize too much. Really follow your inner guidance here for the month of October. Well, I think I've said it all. Thank you so much for, joining me and taking the time to be with me for this reading. Thank you for your attention, and if you want to subscribe, please do so, and I'll see you around for other recordings and other readings. I mean, next Sunday for sure, and if I feel inspired, maybe before that. Take really good care of yourself, and I'll see you around.